In the early 2000s, I had a subscription to the Australian gaming magazine Hyper. One day when I was browsing through old issues, I saw the results of a small competition they had held to see who could finish some different Quake levels the fastest. I remember one of the winning demos was an 11-second run on E1M6, where the player had managed to skip basically the entire level by using the explosion from an ogre grenade to reach the gold key near the beginning of the map. Another run was on E2M4, where I first saw rocket jumping in action. It was a sequence that looked something like this, and it meant that the whole level could be completed in under a minute. This was my first taste of Quake speedrunning, and I was hooked from the beginning. I loaded up Netscape, I think, and set out to find more of these magical demos. I'm not sure how long the term speedrunning had even been around at that point. I had definitely never heard of it, so it took a while to find what I was looking for. But eventually I stumbled onto the Speed Demos archive, which is still the central hub for Quake runs 20 years later. It turned out that these Aussie runners had only just scratched the surface of what was truly possible in Quake, and the guys from SDA were already miles ahead of them. I started watching the demos on SDA one by one, and I was constantly amazed, but there was one demo more than any other which really made me stop and say, what the heck is going on here? And that demo was the 100% run of E1M3 on Easy Skill by Peter Horvath. I would guess that E1M3 is one of the most well-known maps of the original Quake levels. When you first loaded the game, a demo on this map started playing. It has that great open, non-linear style that people love about Quake maps. And from a speedrunning perspective, it also has one of the most famous tricks in the game, namely this grenade jump from the gold key platform up to the top floor. But as you'll see, this level has a lot more potential for tricks and shortcuts. So I'm just going to dive right into Peter's run. I'll pause and slow down and rewind a bit just to try and catch as much detail as I can. We also have a really nice recam available for this map by Roman Priborkin. Is that a German name? This can sometimes help to show what's happening off screen. I'm planning to learn how to make these recams for future demos, but for now, I'm lucky enough to have this ready-made one. Okay, so Peter doesn't waste any time at the start. He grabs the grenade launcher and immediately fires a shot at this group of zombies. And as he moves past them, he gets a boost from the grenade explosion. And he also fires a first shot at this ogre in the room. He bunnies through this little corridor, does a very fast 180-degree turn to shoot this secret door. That door takes a few seconds to open, so while he's waiting, he peeks around the corner to fire a second shot at the ogre. He runs back in, grabs the secrets, and then does a small little grenade jump off this zombie to get back up onto the platform. And just before he falls down to the bottom level, he throws 2 more grenades to take out this ogre, which is popped around the corner. Down here, he throws 1 grenade to land between these 2 zombies, which kills them both. Then he heads out into the main water area. He grabs the gold key, which spawns in a bunch of zombies on the floor. He throws this grenade directly into the air to catch one of these newly spawned zombies. And he throws another grenade around this corner before he dives down underwater to trigger the second secret. Now, this grenade shot is crazy. It's basically a blind shot. And back when he recorded this, he wasn't using transparent water, which is why the grenade looks like it disappears after he fires it. But if you follow this, you can see that it lands perfectly on the corner of this gold key platform. so he can do this grenade jump up to the top level. And of course, while he's waiting for this grenade to explode, he has also thrown several other grenades to take out more zombies. So he lands smoothly up onto the top level, takes out a Scrag and the Ogre. This is one of the only small imperfections of this run. You technically only need 2 grenades to take down an Ogre, but it occasionally takes 3. So here he throws a 3rd one while he's waiting for the gold key door to open. Here he does a super fast spin and throws another blind grenade, which lands here. So he can do another perfectly timed grenade jump. And with that, he skips this area with the kind of spike trap, and he grabs some extra grenades. Down in the sewer area, he takes out a few more zombies and does yet another crazy grenade jump setup. Watch this one as it bounces off the roof and the walls and lands perfectly at the top of this ramp, which lets him do this grenade boost directly up here. And that way he can avoid having to climb these ledges. And of course, as always, while he's waiting for the grenade jump, he manages to grab another couple of kills. So he hits this button, which opens up the walls with these zombies, and he takes those out one by one. He also throws another grenade straight up into the air to take out another zombie. He takes out the first of 2 ogres up on these ledges. After the first one, he shoots this secret wall, which takes a few seconds to open, so he uses that time to take out the second ogre. He then teleports up here, grabs the grenades, and does yet another grenade jump setup. And this was a trick that he invented for this run. He boosts up and gets himself stuck in this corner here. And this helps to lure the final zombie towards him. Normally, you're supposed to hit the button here and wait for a long elevator sequence. But if you can get an enemy stuck in the door here as it closes, then you can walk directly out and take the teleporter up to the top floor. So he does this, takes out the last fiend, including an intermission kill, which is something I talked about in my last video, and then the run is done. Yeah. So even with slow motion and stopping and starting, I was still struggling to catch everything in this run. It's just 60 seconds of unbelievable timing and precision and coordination. And now we're kind of used to this level of gameplay in the Quake scene. But you have to remember that this was 21 years ago. At the time, there really was nothing like this demo out there. And Quake has come a really long way since then with new tricks and techniques and refinements, especially as far as just basic movement is concerned. But yeah, if you look at the tables now for the 100% category, almost all of the demos from the early 2000s have seen huge improvements, mostly from the new generation of players. But on this map, 19 years after this demo, one of the best players in the world, Jukebox, was only able to improve Peter's record by half a second. Peter's route and all of the techniques he invented for this run are still as rock solid as they ever were. So, that's the run. It's still my favorite demo of all time, and it's actually the reason why I started speedrunning Quake. It's been fun to go over it again after so many years and relive some of the awe that I felt when I first saw it. I'll let the demo run here one more time at full speed, and hopefully this breakdown will help you to appreciate how much is really going on. Thanks for watching, and see you later.